Alright guys, so today we're going to talk about vocabulary. Every single one of you should have already built your little booklet where you put your Frayer models inside. So go ahead and take that out, and actually you guys already have it in front of you. And let's go ahead and write down on the front of it. I know you already wrote your name and the lesson number, but I also want you to add on this number, 3.4B. 3.4B is the standard that we're going to be talking about today, and it deals with finding the definition of words using context clues, okay? Now, sometimes when you read a piece of text, you find words that you don't know what they mean. So then you kind of get stuck sometimes, and you think, well, how do I find out what this word means? If it's asking me in paragraph number 1, what does the word blah 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 mean? So today we're going to talk about vocabulary, and we're going to look at some of those, an example. Actually, we're going to focus on one word today. So here's what I want you to do. Go ahead and turn your Journeys books to page 286, I believe is where the vocabulary is. It should be lesson 9. Okay, so one of the things that I asked you to do with your little booklet was for you to write the words in on each one of the Frayer models. So I want you to find one specific word. I want you to find where you wrote down the word vacant. Vacant. So I'm going to go ahead and target that word. Okay? I'm going to write it down in the middle. Okay, that's the word we're going to target. Okay? In the first area, we're going to write down the definition. And what goes on the next one? The synonym? Okay, what about the next box? Antonym, okay. Okay. And the sentence. Okay, awesome. Alright, so let's go ahead and begin with, first of all, reading what it says on the vocabulary card regarding the word vacant. Okay? So, can I have a volunteer? Okay, thank you for raising your hand. Rosalind, can you read me what it says in there about the word vacant?
This old movie theater is vacant. Nobody comes here anymore.
Okay, so this old movie theater is vacant. Nobody comes here anymore. Okay, so I'm focusing on the sentence where you find the word vacant. So it says this old movie theater is vacant. Okay, so in the sentence, I'm actually going to write it here, and so that you guys can see, what exactly it is that I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm going to write it here. You don't need to write this part, but let's say it says this old movie theater is vacant, right? Is that what it says?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, so I'm going to underline it just to make sure that we focus on that word. Okay, so let's look at that word, vacant. Some of us might not know what the word vacant means, but in looking at this sentence, I'm looking to see if there are any clues that tell me what the word vacant means, okay? So let's see, let me focus on, for example, movie theater, okay? So does movie theater help me understand what the word vacant means?
No.
Not really, right? Because if I say movie theater, the first thing that comes to mind is not the word vacant, right? So what does stand out for me is one word. It's this word right here. Okay, old. Okay, so I think about something old. All right, and I think about, let's just say, a car. Okay, I think about a car, and I think about, if I had an old car, and then all of a sudden I got a new car, what do you think I would do with the old car? What do you think I would do, Micah? Maybe sell it. But what if I couldn't sell it? What do you do with something that's just old? What do you do?
Because when it's old, maybe like if you don't have enough money to buy a new car, maybe if you have like some tools and you know how to repair cars, maybe you could fix it.
Okay, okay. I see you guys thinking about all the possibilities of, when something's old, we could recycle it, we can reuse it, and all those things. But the reality of the matter is that, go ahead and put your hands on. Just listen to what I'm saying, okay? The reality of the matter is this has happened. This has happened to me once. I had this old car, okay, and the car eventually stopped working. So I couldn't fix it. I didn't have very much money to fix it. And plus, honestly, even if I did have it, I didn't want to invest money into fixing this car. So instead, I called the junkyard and I said, come and get this car. And what happened is I stopped using the car. It was no good anymore. Okay? So sometimes when things get old, you stop using them. Correct? Right? I mean, if you have an undershirt, if you have those white T-shirts that you guys wear, right, Julio? You wear those white T-shirts. What happens when they start getting holes in them? You stop wearing them, right?
Yes.
Some of us do. We stop wearing them. So I want to focus on that. So it says this old movie theater is vacant. Now this kind of tells me that maybe there's a new movie theater. Okay? And I've seen that happen where they build this brand new movie theater that has all these lights, really cool lights, and these cool chairs that you can sit in that recline and all of that. What happens to the movie theater down the street that has the old, technology? It doesn't have any cool lights. It doesn't have any reclining seats. What happens to that chair? I mean, to that movie theater? What happens to it? They abandon it. They abandon it. Nobody wants to go there anymore. So eventually they lose money and they close it. So that right there, the word old, kind of told me a lot about the word vacant. So now that after I said that, what do you think the word vacant could mean? What do you think, Rosalind?
So like that they don't reuse it.
Okay, so vacant could mean, you think it could mean something like not being used anymore? But would that apply if I have this marker and I say, oh, you know what, this marker is old already. I'm not going to use it anymore. Would that be vacant?
No.
This would be vacant if I put it down and I say, I'm not going to use it anymore. Do you think that would be vacant?
No.
Okay, what do you think, Lucy?
Old.
Old?
Like if I had a helmet
Mm-hmm.
and then it like I fell and it hit it and it broke, then
Mm-hmm.
it's not old, but it's vacant because it's like broken.
Okay, but I think you're mistaken what the word vacant means. Okay, even though we haven't really defined it, I think old and vacant don't mean the same thing. They might go together. If something is old, it becomes vacant, like a movie theater, right? So what does that mean? Think about a movie theater, okay? If it's old and it's vacant, I think Maite gave a perfect example. She said, what was the word you used? Abandoned. So you know what abandoned means? What do you think, Henry?
Not occupied.
It means not occupied. So what do you think if we write that definition down for that? We say that vacant means not occupied. Okay? Okay? So yes, you can write that one down. Not occupied. Okay? And for those of us that don't understand what not occupied means, you can say it's, no one there. Okay, there's no one there. Nobody goes to the old places anymore because they would rather go to the new cool places, right? So we're going to say that vacant means not occupied. Okay? What could be a synonym of vacant? Another word that means the same thing. What do you think of that? Huh? New. So if something is new, it's vacant.
No.
So if you go to the new movie theater, that means it's vacant. That means there's nobody there. Wouldn't it be kind of the opposite of it? So abandoned. Okay. So we can say that. I like that one.
Do you write it down?
Yeah, you can write it down. Is there another word that we can use, Samuel? Empty, okay. There you go, you got two now. Let's see if we can come up with a third one. What do you think? Not used. Let me think about that one. What do you guys think about not used? No, because if I put down this marker and if I don't use it, that's not used, right? But would that be vacant? Old?
Not occupied. Use a good definition.
So instead of saying not occupied, is there another word that we can use instead of that? Maybe a word starting beginning with un, with the prefix un. There you go. So that could be another one. So we can say unoccupied. Okay. What about for the antonym? What do you guys think about the antonym? Well, first of all, what is an antonym?
Antonym.
What do you think, Randall?
Antonym means the opposite of old and new.
Well, not of old, but of the word that we're focusing on, a vacant, right? So, what do you think the word? What do you think a good word, a good antonym would be for vacant? What do you have one, Randall? You can think of, or should I ask someone else?
Occupied.
Okay. Okay.
Instead
So
of putting unoccupied, you could put occupied.
occupied. Very good. So that would be one. Because the word un obviously means not, right? So it would be occupied. Okay. What's another word that we could use? What do you think, Julio? New. Well, I don't know about new because I think you guys are focusing a lot on that word, on old, but old doesn't mean vacant. It's just a word that helped me understand what the word meant, right? What do you think? Used? No, again, you're focusing on the word old. We're not focusing on the word old. We're focusing on vacant, okay? So, guys, forget about the word old, okay? That was just a word that helped us understand what the word vacant was, okay? What do you think, Esteban?
Full.
Full?
No.
Let's see. Well, no. Hold on. Because if a movie theater or even a restaurant is vacant, the opposite of that would be that it is full, right? So it's full of people. Okay, so maybe we can use the word full. Okay. What about Evelyn? What do you think? Well, isn't that one of those? Right? What do you think, Henry? Old? Owned? What do you mean owned? Like as in I own something? Owned.
Yeah, because they abandoned it, then they owned it.
Yeah, but it just I mean even a vacant building is owned by someone, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right? If I have a movie theater, well let's get away from the movie theater. Let's just say a restaurant, okay? And I make really bad food, okay? Eventually people are going to stop coming, so it's going to be vacant. Nobody's going to want to go there, right? But maybe it still has an owner. Maybe there's an owner to the property, but nobody is going there. It may be boarded up. Have you ever seen one of those businesses that they put all the boards on it to cover the windows up and the doors, to keep vandals out? You ever seen one of those?
Yeah.
Somebody still owns it. It may have a sign that says call so and so number to lease or to buy or whatever. It could say that. So what about the word? Let's see. We have occupied is the opposite of vacant. Full. Okay. We said abandoned, empty, and unoccupied. We could always leave it at 2 if we can't come up with one because I don't want to give you all the answers to this. So let's leave it at that. What about the sentence? Okay. How about we write a sentence that's kind of similar to what we would find in the book? What do you think, Henry?
Store is vacant and
Okay. So the store is vacant, and I'm going to underline vacant because it's a vocabulary word, and it's what we're focusing on. The store is vacant. What about, Henry, if we instead change the sentence and put a comma in there and add an or? What do you think we could follow that up with? Or empty. Okay, we can use that one. So anytime we see that comma and then the word or, what normally follows it? What it means, right? So it's a context clue is what we call it, right? That's what we were focusing on today was context clues. 3.4B focuses on context clues because there are words that sometimes we don't understand what they mean. Okay? Yes, ma'am.
There's some old stores, but for getting more clothes and everything, they made the mall so people can go there. So there's different stores that are like they don't have more customers, and
So they become what?
Vacant.
Vacant, right? So yes, when the malls came around, a lot of people started flocking to go to the mall, and they wanted to go to the cool stores where all of the stores were. Excuse me, if you didn't find something at one store, you could go right next door and go to the other store. And so all the stores, the individual stores that were everywhere else, people stopped going to them. So eventually they became vacant buildings, actually, not even a vacant store, but just a vacant building. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you for listening and for participating. You know how to do the rest of the words, so I'm going to give you guys a chance to practice with some of these words during your daily 3 and when you're working on words. Okay. So thank you, guys, and let's go ahead and stand up and go to our seats, please.